Hello, this is Marco Sims, Senior Pastor of the Sanctuary Christian Center, and this is From the Pastor's Kitchen. If you enjoyed this video today, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. I welcome your comments. Today I want to provide you with a simple soup. I think it's really simple, but it's hearty as well, and so many people are familiar with it and really love it. We're going to be doing a creamy tomato basil soup along with a grilled cheese sandwich. I've somewhat prepped the sandwiches already with the cheese in them already so that we can expedite the time. And I am using a Munester cheese. I do not like your traditional cheddar or the American cheese. I never use it at all. You know, we've grown up with it. You want to enhance the flavor of some foods. Try something different that you haven't done before. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this soup. I have 28 ounces of peeled tomatoes, 2 cups of chicken stock, Parmesan cheese, garlic, onions, black pepper, adobo. I don't use garlic salt at all. This is my seasoning, my go-to magic salt-free seasoning, and basil. So we're going to start out. It's already oiled. This is already oiled. I'm going to add a little bit more oil to this because it's somewhat hot already. And we're going to go ahead and put the onions in first. We want to put the onions in. This is about a good third of an onion that I put in. We want the onions to sweat in here. And once the onions sweat down just a little bit, it only takes about a minute or two for them to just be saturated in the oil. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic to it. This is about 2 tablespoons of garlic, minced garlic already. It's already prepared. Put that in there. Stir it around in here. I can smell the flavoring of this. This is awesome. Then I'm going to put the chicken stock in. Add the chicken stock. Take my time. I put an apron on today because I knew I was using this doing soup, and I definitely didn't want it to splatter on me. So you want to put it down in here gingerly, really slow, and turn the heat up on here and stir this all in here together. That's all you have to do. Gently stir it. Turn the heat up on it. I'm going to put the top on it and let it simmer a little bit. Now, while that is simmering, I want to share with you a word from the Lord. And my word today is going to be life. I'm coming from John 10:10, where it says, "The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. I am come that they might have life, and have life more abundantly." Life. What am I talking about when I use the word life? From John 10:10. I just want to expound on the word life. Now, we haven't always been saved. I want you to make note of that. I have not always been saved. I've lived in the world. I've done drugs before. I was smoking at the age of 14. It was just a commonplace for me to do because it was the environment that I lived in. And it's just what we did as we grew up. We all got together. We drank and we smoked and we partied all the time. But the word life goes beyond just having a good time as well. So I want you to meditate on that. What God is saying to us in His Word, He's saying, hey, you could have life much more abundantly than just that. Being caught up in all these other issues and things that are going on in the world. So you want to be mindful of that. What does this life mean to me in Jesus Christ? Let's turn our attention now to the grilled cheese sandwich. I have butter down the skillet already here. So I'm going to turn this and just wipe it with the butter right quick. And this plate should be a little warm, and I just want to toast the bread just a little bit. While I'm doing that, I'm going to give my attention back again to the soup. I'm going to stir it. I'm going to turn this up on high and stir the soup. This tomato basil soup only takes about 15 minutes, no more, 10 to 15 minutes. Okay? Once it gets warm in here and it comes to a boil, then we can take it and put it in a mixer to puree it a little bit, and then we can add the basil to it as well. So while this is toasting, let me get my trusty spatula out so I can turn this bread over. And I am using a white mountain bread as well. I don't like your traditional bread. I like to change things up to add a little flavor to foods. I can't tell you a time when I've had a recipe that someone has given me and I've used their recipe. I like to put my own staple on my recipe. Then I can have ownership to it. But back to the word life. When I thought about myself in life, I thought about where I've come from, the environment that I lived in, the things that I did, the choices that I made. And we can all say we have not made the best choices. But I tell you, it's something about being in salvation. It's something about being in the Lord that is just so awesome. When I think back over my life and where I've come from, I say to myself, why didn't I do this sooner? And I'm quite sure you probably said the same thing. Those of us that are Christians, why didn't I do this sooner? Have no regrets. That's what I want to tell you. Church, don't have any regrets. And for those that don't know the Lord, this is an opportunity for me to tell you about life so that you can become acquainted with the Lord. My Lord, looking back over our lives, we get involved in events and times of shame. We pass the blame onto ourselves. We feel guilty about the mistakes that we've had and the mistakes and the things that we've done. And we thought we were just having a good time. But I tell you, being in the Lord, life is so rich and the peace that we have is so overwhelming. It is simply amazing. So we're going to let this toast a little bit more. I'm going to come back over here and stir this soup. You want to constantly stir the soup as well. You can smell the flavoring of the soup, of the garlic, the onions in here, and the soup itself. It's getting a little warm. I want to bring it to a boil. Once I get it to a boil, then we're going to just go ahead and move it in the mixer. Now this is still toasting. Real simple meal that you can take and do through the course of the day. Soup and sandwich goes really well in the afternoon on a good afternoon when it's a little cool outside. But I like soup at any time, because I'm just a soup lover. So I've learned how to do just the basic things to provide it for my family so that we could eat and have some good hearty meals. So back to the word life. When I thought about life, I thought about being ashamed. I think many of us have been trapped in life from coming out of dysfunctional families. You know, we used that word years ago like it really had extreme value. We've all come from dysfunctional families. I want people to begin to understand that. There is something that's dysfunctional in your family. The spouses didn't probably express love, and so we don't do it in that manner at all. You know, but being in God changes everything for us. We get to understand the value of what love means and how to love someone and how to be able to express that. I'm going to add a little bit more butter in here as I'm going along as I'm doing this grilled cheese sandwich. Try to keep it simple for you. Just real simple things that we can do. A real simple meal. Want to get the butter on the toast. Still trying to toast it here. Turn it back over on that side, then let it toast. Back to the word life. And I thought about life, just going through the process of being ashamed of situations. I can recall just a brief testimony I want to share with you. My sister, when she was younger, about 12 or 13, she wanted to commit suicide. And then she would say to me, after she took some pills and I saw her falling asleep, she said to me, I took these pills. Please don't tell Mom. Please don't tell Dad. I immediately ran and told my parents. Who wants to see their younger sister die like that? Who wants to see something like that? I want to see her live. But that was just a phase of her life, of something that she went through. Oh yeah, I told. And anytime anybody else is going through something, we ought to be at their rescue to help them through the process as well of life. That is so important for us to be able to do. And today, she is saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, excited about life. You know, we laugh and joke about those moments. And she's like, what was I doing? What was I thinking about? And so many of us are in the same predicaments until we find Christ. The abundance that we have in Him is overwhelming. My God, and so I want to introduce Him to those that are not acquainted with Him and to others that are living in partiality. We're going to turn attention to this soup because I believe it is boiling now. It is got to boil. And at the same time, we're going to remove this toast from here. this bread is toasted right there. Turn this fire down on here, back this up over here because I don't want my butter to burn. And I am going to move my attention now to putting this in the mixer. Turn this top over, put it on the side here. Before I do that, I do need to put my seasonings in, don't I? Let's add the pepper, adobo, the magic chef, salt-free, and some basil. I can smell the basil. Oh, it really smells good. I'm going to take this and pour this into my mixer. Stand back from it. Stand back from it. Pour it down into the mixer. There we go. Put this back over here. Take it off the eye. Move the pot off the eye. Take this and put it in my trusted blender right here. Make sure it's in the off position. Turn the top around and away. From there, and blend it. Oh my goodness, each time it does this to me. Just a little bit, just a little. Blend it just a little bit, just a little bit. Anybody else? Blend it just a little bit. Just a little. Just a little. Very powerful. Get that and clean that up, wipe that up right quick. Get that out of the way there. Get away from me. Now I'm going to take my cream and pour just a little bit of cream in here. Just a little bit. There we go. Oh, this just seems to get away from me. That should do it. That should do it. Let's taste it now. That is really good. That is really good. This was done in about 10 minutes. I'm going to take it and pour it into my soup bowl. So you can get a glimpse of the soup. Really, really simple tomato soup. Now, if it isn't to your liking in the seasoning, please add more seasoning to it. I don't normally measure my seasonings in my food. I cook it to taste. I want you to know that. I really do. But I've done this on display for everybody so that you can see it because many people requested it. And I only added a little bit in there. That's the best thing to do, a little bit at a time. I'm going to wipe this down because I hit that blender too fast. Now, I'm not perfect, but I'm striving for that perfection, that I would get this done. And I only put just a tad bit of cream in there. I didn't measure it out either as well. And so we're going to go now over to this grilled cheese sandwich. I'm going to bring this one sandwich over here. We'll do the other one later, afterwards. Take this. And I am going to cut this in half. Presentation is everything. So I'll cut that in half. There. And I'll add the soup to this bowl. My favorite bowls. I love the design of the bowl and how the bowl looks. Presentation is everything. Wipe the side of my bowl down. And this is real cheese along with a creamy tomato basil soup. Please keep in mind the word that I provided you with today is life. We can have abundant life in Jesus Christ only when we give our attention to Him, only when we know everything that He has done for us, lived, died, resurrected, the pain that He went through, saying that we can live in abundance, we can be happy. And so when someone tells you, my God, they're miserable in the life that they're in, you can turn to them and say, I'm excited about the abundant life that I have in Jesus. Now that my life has changed, now that I made these changes for myself, walking in salvation, I am satisfied, I have peace, I'm not worried, I'm not stressed. I just believe God for everything. So be encouraged, people of God. I pray that you were blessed by the word that I provided you with. And please try this recipe. Creamy tomato basil soup along with a grilled cheese sandwich will go with any meal at any time. In the afternoon or dinner time meal as well. God bless you. I was able to share with you today two of my greatest passions. My love for cooking and my love for Christ. Until next week.